Hello and welcome back to the Stronghold. I'm the Magi and welcome to MidWeek Magic, where I want you to grow your collection by winning 2 free rare or better ICRs each and every week. This week's MidWeek Magic, the arena team is challenging us to do some brawling with a commander selected from the new Pioneer Master set. And the real challenge here is going to be keeping it budget, because the vast majority of available commanders from this set are, you guessed it, mythic wildcards. And, well, you know, we got your back. But before we get into all of that, this whole midweek magic thing has become a bit of a tradition here at the Stronghold, and it all started with our crack team of researchers discovering that we were the only YouTube channel making consistent, proactive, and timely midweek magic coverage. And here we are years later, and it appears that we're still the only ones out there doing it for the budget community. So be sure to subscribe to the Planeswalker Stronghold so that we can be here for you every chance we get. Now, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, right. Alright, so the truth is, if you don't have a plan, this event can really hit your resources for a ton. A full 82% of the available commanders in this set are mythics. And there's only about a half dozen or so rare options. And while we normally get 3 or so free packs on a set like this, that means you might randomly hit on one of these that you're excited about building. And if that's the case, more power to you. Please drop your list and your experience down in the comments below so other people can learn from what you did. However, if things don't work out that way, there are 2 uncommons in this set that make wonderful commanders. And even better, both of them are rare downgrades. So originally they were printed at rare, now they're available through Pioneer Masters as uncommons, and one of them is even an arena reprint, so you may already have it in your collection. The first is Anax Cymede, and it's pretty budget friendly as a 3-mana 3/2 first strike vigilance human soldier with heroic. Whenever you cast a spell that targets this card, creatures you control get +1/+1 and gain trample until end of turn. Very solid. And I say it's budget friendly because heroic has always been one of the budget leaders when it comes to Explorer. And if you have that deck laying around, you're about a third of the way to having a Anax Cymede Brawl deck. Furthermore, this is going to look very familiar to those Boros, Mice, Valiant decks that have been all the rage for the last 6 months or so. And of course, any mono red based prowess deck is going to fit into this very well. So don't be surprised if you have everything you need to put this deck together and go brawling. But the real budget brawl star here is Goreclaw, Terror of Qual-Sisma. Probably butchered that pronunciation. And believe it or not, you might be able to put together this brawl deck for as little as 0 wild cards. Alright, so let's talk about Goreclaw Brawl. I'm not going to go through every single card because, believe it or not, every card in this deck, with the exception of 2, is either part of your starter collection or should already be in your collection. The first card that is not is Goreclaw himself. I've got the M19 in the list that I posted because some of you might have this hiding in your collection and not even know it. If you don't, crack the uncommon version that is from Pioneer Masters. Don't waste a rare when you don't need to. That's the whole reason we're playing this deck. The only other card that isn't or should be in your collection already is Guardian Project. And this one's in here for those that really like to play Brawl and are very much green players, because this is literally made for green Brawl decks. It's a 4-mana enchantment. Whenever a non-token creature you control enters, if it doesn't have the same name as another creature you control or a creature card in your graveyard, draw a card. Well, guess what? Brawl is you only get to run one copy of a card, so every time you play a creature, you're going to get to draw a card. And with the amount of ramp and big, stompy, dumb creatures, this is the thing you want. The first column here is just various pieces of early ramp to come down on 1 and 2 to help you get to the big creatures. This second column, Ankle Biter, Rubblebout, Maverick, and Thorn-Wheeled Archer, all from your starter collection. And even though they're not 4 power or greater, they still have a place in the deck. And I just realized I didn't talk about the 4 power or greater. That's what Goreclaw does. Creature spells you cast with power 4 or greater cost 2 colorless mana less to cast. And whenever Goreclaw attacks, each creature you control with power 4 or greater get +1/+1 and gain trample until end of turn. Absolutely amazing stuff. The third column here is just some random utility, all from your starter other than Guardian Project, Commune with Nature, Leaping Ambush, Snakeskin Veil, Stony Strength, Fanatical Strength, Titanic Growth, Colossal Majesty, Doubling Season, Primeval Bounty, and Biogenic Upgrade. And then the fourth column here is your fight spells, your removal built around creatures. Bushwhack, that can also be ramp. Pick Your Poison, that removes a number of different things, including those pesky flying creatures. Rabid Bite, Felling Blow, and Huatley's Final Strike. The last 2 columns here are nothing but big dumb creatures that are either 4 power or greater in their own right, easily get there, or assist other creatures in getting there. And then, of course, we have a very simple mana base, as we typically do. We keep it very basic. 32 Forest. We've got Plaza of Heroes, which if you haven't already added this to your collection, you probably should. Same with Fabled Passage. And then we're using Evolving Wilds and Terramorphic Expanse. I very often get the question of why include things like Terramorphic Expanse and Evolving Wilds in a monocolored deck. And in this case, it's because we have 5 very powerful cards that care about landfall, and that just lets you get a little extra juice out of those cards. And hey, just in case you didn't catch all that, Matt would like you to know that the deck list that we discussed in this video is going to have a link down in the doobly-doo to take you over to Aetherhub, along with a link to any other alternative list that you might wish to consider. He only asks that you give it a little thumbs up when you're over there checking out the deck list. And I plan on live playing this event on Wednesday at 11 a.m. over on my Twitch channel. So definitely stop in and check it out. Because the Stronghold is so much more than just a YouTube channel, and you can find links to all of our other social media outlets in our profile. Because at the end of the day, we're all budget players. And as a community, we're stronger together. So like, comment, subscribe, follow, do all those things to show a little love. It's appreciated more than you know.